Welcome to WWP Clips. This is the official Clips channel for We Want Picks. We will be uploading our individual fight breakdown videos here, so make sure you like and subscribe so you don't miss any of our content. And as always, go to wewantpicks.com/bets, sign up with any one of our 5 betting partners, make a deposit, and we send you $50 as a thank you. Next up, at UFC Austin, we have Jasmine Jasudavicius taking on Natalia Silva. Jasmine Jasudavicius is 7-1 overall, 4-1 in her last 5, coming off a pair of UFC wins. Natalia Silva is 12-5 overall, 5-0.
I was waiting for, I saw you catch me out of the corner of your eye. Hey, Natalia.
As I was doing these graphics, I'm like, freaking Jacob, man. Natalia Silva is 12-5 overall. She is 5-0 in her last 5, and she is making her UFC debut. Jasmine Jasudavicius is a wrestler who likes to come forward and push the pace with her striking before she works in her takedowns. Has a solid collar tie underhook clinch where she really controls your body and then throws heavy knees and works in takedowns from there. She's a very accomplished wrestler, like world-level accomplished wrestler with
national silver medalist in Canada.
Okay.
So, I don't know. I think there might be 4 total people in Canada that wrestle. They're not a very conflicting
and
people.
She's better than 2 of them, Jacob.
There you go.
But she is an accomplished wrestler, very accomplished wrestler with fantastic hips. So even if she has a bad entry, which creates a scramble, she will end up on top. She has 6 takedowns and 14 minutes of control time in her last 2 fights. Natalia Silva is a well-rounded fighter who is always fun to watch. She has a brawling strike style. Shut up. She has a brawling strike style where she will wing punches from her hips, solid upper body takedowns, and good control on top. What she does really well is bait you into a slugfest. She'll come forward with strikes, and as you return fire, she backs up and does a great job of unloading while she's circling out. So now her opponent's essentially committed to that exchange, and they're chasing her and stuck in that slugfest. She's got solid power for the division, but she does leave herself open for takedowns. This is a fun fight. Both of these women can absolutely push a pace, but with very different game plans. I like Natalia Silva as a fighter. I love that she's in the UFC, but I do wish she had a different debut matchup. I wish they gave her somebody like Kay Hansen, where
like me, give her. I'll fight. We can grapple.
Where she could showcase her pressure and striking without worrying about the takedowns. But unfortunately, they match her up with Jasmine, who I do think will see those takedown openings. I think she'll avoid the brawl and just shoot. So Jasmine is the pick, but Natalia is very dangerous, and she will let her hands fly. What do you think, Jacob?
I'll tell you exactly what I think. When I first broke down this fight and I started watching tape on both of them, the pick was going to be Jasmine. I watched her against Kay Hansen, kind of break Kay Hansen's will in that fight. Kay Hansen, I think, got some takedowns early, and then she started to had some pretty good sweeps in that matchup. A lot of them were pretty physical sweeps. They didn't look super technical, but you could tell she frustrated Kay Hansen to where at the end of the fight, Kay Hansen was like, I don't know what to do, basically. Like her pressure was so good on the ground in those exchanges. And when I was watching Natalia in her tape, I saw she is like a little fireball, right? A little warrior, because she is tough. You saw Marina Rodriguez dropped her a few times, couldn't finish her. Marina Rodriguez is finishing a lot of people. And you see all these arm bars. I was interested in these arm bars because were they from the bottom? Were they from the top? A lot of them were like mounted arm bar type positions. I don't think she's going to find those positions against a good wrestler and grappler in Jasmine. So that kind of worried me a little bit. The striking as well, she does push the pressure, but it looked pretty sloppy. She has not fought in 2 years. So I did, we do more research than anyone, Angela. I will say we do more research than anyone. I do more research definitely than anyone. And I reached out and did the deep dive for everyone on her Instagram. I was going through Instagram picture after video, one after the other. Boom, boom, 3, 4. All of a sudden, it's 8 hours later. I've gone through every single Instagram picture. And what I found was in those 2-year layoffs, her striking is looking pretty good. You guys go to Instagram, watching her shadow box, hitting a bag, hitting mitts. It looked like she's gotten really, really technical in the striking. And I'm looking at that and the way I saw Jasmine striking against Kay Hansen, and Natalia's getting slicker on the ground. I mean, she's already slick on the ground with her transitions and stuff to where My pick originally was going to be Jasmine, but when I see the striking improvements from Natalia, I see how tough she is. She's not going to break like Kay Hansen. Lock of the week, Kay Hansen. She just got married too. Kay Hansen, you're out of my life. Natalia Silva, a little warrior, will not break under the pressure. I gotta go Natalia Silva. I gotta go Natalia Silva in this matchup. If Jasmine just lays on her for 3 rounds, I understand that. I keep saying that in these matchups. There's a lot of matchups that are like that. Natalia, I think she's making striking improvements. I think she can win the striking exchanges and maybe win a couple scrambles and find a submission on the ground. So I'm going Natalia. Natalia, hey, you and me to the end.
What is interesting is you did that extra level of research because a lot of people just look at Tapology and do a full fight pick from that. Some people even videotape it.
Armbar. Yeah.
Exactly. They'll see armbar. Oh, wrestler, jiu-jitsu, done. And like you said, you did the extra step. You watched the video. They're not arm bars off her back after being taken down by Canadian national champion wrestlers. They're arm bars off top. She's not going to end up on top most likely. Listen, Natalia's not a terrible pick. I'm not going to fight you on that. It's not a terrible pick.
I wouldn't fight me either. Honestly, I wouldn't fight me either.
Yeah, God knows what oiled up disgustingness that ends up in. But frankly, she is sloppy. You said her striking is sloppy, and that's exactly what's going to open up the wrestling takedown. So that's how I see it. It should be a fun fight. I would
highly
tough.
encourage everyone to look at her Instagram. I would encourage it. I got it up right now.
$9,100 in DraftKings. Listen, if you think Jasmine gets a bunch of takedowns and a bunch of control time, what were the stats I rattled off? 6 takedowns in her last 2 fights. What the hell did I rattle off there? 6 takedowns and 14 minutes of control time in her last 2 fights. Those add up. Those score well in DraftKings. So if you think Jasmine wins this fight and that's how she wins it, well, then go for it. If you think Natalia Silva wins this fight because it's a dirty, ugly brawl and she gets it done, well, then she's definitely worth the $7,100 in DraftKings. This Monkey Knife Fight strike line, another pretty wide line. I don't know what to do with this line. What do you think?
She's got a thing on her a story highlight on her Instagram called Massage. I would highly recommend everyone checking that out. What'd you say?
I said this Monkey Knife Fight strike line is tricky. What would you do with it?
I'm not sure.
I need to get this off the screen. I need to refocus him and get this off the screen. Anyway, guys, go to WeWantPicks.com/bets. Sign up, make a deposit, and we will send you $50 as a thank you. That's WeWantPicks.com/bets.